Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
This past Saturday, 8 years ago, I was in prison. I actually walked out of prison 8 years and a week ago. I was born and raised in Arkansas to a truck driver, father, stay-at-home mom, normal childhood. I had my its, and we'll talk about it. But I grew up in the South, where a lot of stereotypes you think would apply to me probably did. And growing up with that, I came up in a different way. I went to a PWI, I've had careers, prison, a lot of different experiences, but I don't think you can really pigeonhole me, except I'm a small town boy, and I'm on a journey like no other.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you, well, congratulations. 8 years and a day, you said?
No, 8 years and a week ago, I got out of prison, and I slept 30 yards from the execution chamber. I had to see those doors every day in and out of my barracks.
Oh,
yeah.
God. We're going to jump into that. Like, whoa. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's not a fun place.
I'm sure. Oh, my. Wait, see, I'm stuck for words right now because I didn't know that you were that close. I think I heard it in one of the videos, but not just that close as you're telling me now. But, it's an honor to sit with you here tonight. It had to happen. And, this show is all about the it's that transpired in one's life, right? Because we don't know why the it's happen. We know that they do happen, but they happen to us for us to share with others. And what way to better tell someone how to get through something if you never walk through it? You have to walk through some things in order to tell others how to get through them, by sharing your experience, not telling them what they should do, but just sharing your experience. And thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be here on tonight. But since you started out with what you were saying about being in prison 8 years ago and being across from the chambers, just go ahead and jump into that really quick.
I was an opiate addict, not fentanyl. It was hydrocodone, and I had a voracious addiction, about a 10-year downward spiral that I had arm surgery, and doctors gave me 600 hydrocodone I took religiously, and no one told me what happens when I stopped, and that just spiraled. And I became a jewel thief, basically, is what I did. I became a thief to feed my habit. And, that's a guilt I don't know how to get rid of, to be honest with you. I worked through a lot of things, but that's one part of probably what drives me is that guilt, because I can't repay those people, those victims. Mm-hmm. I never can, and they'll never benefit directly from me. But that's always in the back of my mind. And so I went to prison. I was sentenced to 13 years in prison for my first time in trouble for residential burglary. It called for probation. I was made an example out of, which at the time angered me. But now I see the gift from God that it was, because God didn't tear me down. He didn't break me. He built me brick by brick. My foundation's rock solid. I had to go through it, and it just, prison, as horrible as it is, changed me in a lot of fundamental ways. Because I did my time. I didn't let my time do me. I saw some violent and vicious acts you've ever seen. I've also saw some of the most deepest humanity I've ever seen in those walls. So, and I will say this right off the bat before I forget. When I was sentenced to 13 years in prison, my first time in trouble, and I'm seeing people of color in court sentenced to 2 and 3 years for the same thing. Now, granted, mine was a big crime spree. I don't want to, minimize mine.
Right.
But my attorney, I'm like, why did they throw the book at me? And she literally looked me in the eye. She goes, because you're white. They don't want you back. She goes, they're trying to get your attention the first time. She goes,